Hello, this is Attorney Gia. Welcome to another segment of Legal Droplets of Knowledge. On the Florida landlord-tenant issues, today we will talk about what happens after you serve tenant with that 3-day notice. You have given notice to the tenant. Now what? Well, first of all, you need to wait until the due date stated in the notice. Then, several things may have happened. Number 1, tenant paid the rent owed in its entirety within the time set in the notice. Or, number 2, tenant delivered the property to you, which means tenant surrendered the possession, tenant has left the property, has moved out, has taken all his possession, and has sent you the keys. Or, tenant paid partial rent. This means that the tenant did not pay the whole rent stated in the notice. Or, tenant did nothing at all, so you have no rent, no property, and the tenant is still living there. What if the tenant paid the rent, all of it, as stated in the notice? Well, there's nothing to do. Landlord got the rent, and landlord cannot terminate the rental agreement. But make sure that the next month you do not wait to send that 3-day notice if tenant doesn't pay the rent on time. The longer you wait, the longer the tenant stays if you need to evict and terminate the rental agreement. What if the tenant sends me the keys and or moves out? Tenant has delivered the property to you. If they send you the keys by mail, take a picture of the keys and the envelope and keep the envelope. Start documenting. Inspect the property and take pictures. Open the sink to check for running water. Turn on the lights to check if there is electricity. Take pictures of the kitchen, closets, and refrigerator. Document, document, document. At this point, you can re-rent your property if the tenant has actually moved out. But also you can go after the tenant for damages. Please make sure to consult a Florida attorney. Even with the tenant delivering possession to you and moving out, there are other obligations imposed on the landlord and the tenant. For example, like those regarding the security deposit. Remember that Florida Landlord-Tenant Act is very specific about what you need to do and establishes time period limitations both on the tenant and on the landlord that they need to follow. There is no substitute for competent legal advice, and having an attorney by your side may save you some money. In our next session, we will discuss the scenario where a tenant pays partial rent. Please subscribe or check every week for new uploads. This is Legal Droplets of Knowledge. I am Attorney Gia from Songur & Associates in Orlando, Florida.